Okay, so here's the thing. We got to talk about Meghan Markle and this whole American Riviera Orchard situation. It's turning into a proper dumpster fire, and honestly, it's kind of fascinating to watch. I mean, the woman clearly had aspirations of being the next Martha Stewart, but it's just not working. And the tea is she's apparently losing it behind the scenes. The core issue, she launched this luxury lifestyle brand, right? Jam, candles, the whole shebang, picture perfect Instagram aesthetic, influencer marketing blitz, the works. But then reality hit. The products were questionable. Wickless candles, for crying out loud. Jam that apparently resembled something you'd find lurking in the back of your fridge. And the customer service? A black hole. People couldn't even figure out how to return the stuff. Meanwhile, completely under the radar, the royal family's Highgrove shop, Prince Charles's stuff, quietly dropped their annual Christmas collection. Candles, jams, the usual. And guess what? It sold like hotcakes. Not because of some flashy marketing campaign, but because people trust the brand. It's been around for decades, it's associated with quality, and let's be honest, there's that whole royal thing. And this is where the alleged Montecito meltdown comes in. Apparently, Meghan went ballistic. According to insiders, she was convinced the palace deliberately timed the Highgrove launch to sabotage her. I mean, come on, Occam's razor, people. Highgrove drops a Christmas collection every year. It's not some grand conspiracy. But apparently, trying to explain that to Meghan was like talking to a brick wall. Anyone who dared suggest it was just a coincidence allegedly got the Markle stare. The one that shuts you down instantly. It's like, in her mind, competition isn't just business. It's a personal betrayal. She can't fathom the idea that the royals might not be obsessing over her every move. And instead of admitting maybe, just maybe, her launch was poorly planned and her products weren't up to snuff, she doubled down on the victim narrative. The palace is out to get me. It's exhausting, honestly. And the thing is, she had potential, huge potential. She's got the platform, the resources, the celebrity connections. But she seems to be squandering it all on ego and paranoia. Like, remember that Netflix release she scheduled for December 3rd? Genius move to put it right before Princess Kate's Christmas special, right? Totally not going to get overshadowed by a beloved royal tradition that millions of people tune into every year. Face palm. And look, I'm not saying Meghan is a bad person, but she's clearly surrounded by yes men who are afraid to tell her the truth. And the truth is, you can't Instagram your way into a luxury empire. You need quality, consistency, and a brand that people actually trust. You can't just slap a pretty label on something and expect people to shell out $64 for a candle, especially when it doesn't even have a wick. And the worst part? Apparently Prince Harry is stuck in the middle of all this. He sees the problems, he knows the products aren't good enough, but he can't exactly tell his wife she's wrong without triggering another explosion. It's a no-win situation for him. It's a shame, really. American Riviera Orchard could have been something amazing. But right now, it's just a cautionary tale about what happens when ambition outstrips execution and paranoia trumps common sense. And honestly, I'm here for the drama, but I also feel a little bad for everyone involved. Except maybe the people who bought those wickless candles, they kind of deserve it. Okay, so it gets worse. Remember all those celeb friends Meghan was supposedly tight with? Turns out, even they're backing away slowly. I mean, who wants to be associated with a brand that's constantly embroiled in some kind of drama? It's like, instead of selling jam, she's selling a reality TV show, and nobody wants to be a supporting character in Meghan's personal saga. And the thing with Hollywood is, they're all about image. You want to be seen as successful, professional, and easy to work with. Meghan, not exactly fitting that bill right now. She's turning networking events into potential PR nightmares. Remember that Kris Jenner birthday party? Apparently, Meghan managed to make it all about herself, overshadowing the actual birthday girl. I mean, come on. That's a special kind of talent. Even Netflix, who threw a ton of money at the Sussexes, is probably regretting their investment. They wanted carefully planned, high-quality content. What they got was a constant stream of controversies that sucked all the attention away from their shows. It's like nobody's talking about the actual programming. They're just dissecting Meghan's latest meltdown. Not exactly the ROI Netflix was hoping for, I'm guessing. And then there's the jam thing. I mean, seriously, the jam. Apparently, some of the jars arrived looking questionable, like not even legally qualified to be called jam. And the wine launch? Apparently, they forgot to get the proper licenses. You know, basic stuff that any competent business person would take care of. It's like they're allergic to due diligence. But the real kicker is the customer service. Or, should I say, the lack thereof. People are complaining that they can't even get in touch with anyone to return the stuff. The website links are broken, the phone lines are dead. It's like they're actively trying to avoid dealing with their unhappy customers. Which, is not a great strategy for building a loyal following. Meanwhile, back at Highgrove, everything's running smoothly. They've got their established supply chains, their rigorous quality control, their customer service reps who actually answer the phone. And most importantly, their products do what they're supposed to do. It's not rocket science, people. It's just basic business. But Meghan seems to think she can skip all that boring stuff and jump straight to the luxury part. She thinks a pretty label and a few Instagram posts are enough to convince people to hand over their hard-earned cash. But luxury isn't just about aesthetics. It's about trust, reliability, and a sense that you're getting what you paid for. And right now, American Riviera Orchard is delivering none of those things. And honestly, I think Harry's starting to realize that. He's probably sitting there watching his wife's brand implode and wondering what he got himself into. He knows that royal merchandise succeeds because of tradition, infrastructure, and consistency. But trying to explain that to Meghan, probably a lost cause. It's like she's living in her own little reality, where everyone's out to get her and she's the victim of some grand conspiracy. She's so focused on external blame that she can't see the problems with her own execution. It's a classic case of self-sabotage. And the thing is, she had everything going for her. She could have built a legitimate brand, leveraging her platform and her connections. But instead, she's creating a cautionary tale about what happens when you prioritize ego over substance. It's a shame, really. So, yeah, the American Riviera Orchard saga continues, and honestly, I don't see it ending well. Unless Meghan can somehow ditch the paranoia, hire some competent people, and start focusing on the actual products, she's doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. And that, my friends, is a recipe for disaster. Okay, so the latest I'm hearing is that Meghan's doubling down on the whole "I'm a victim" thing, which honestly is just getting old. Apparently, her team is now spinning every screw-up as proof that the royal family is actively sabotaging her. Like, seriously? You'd think they'd have better things to do than mess with Meghan Markle's jam sales. But here's the real problem with that strategy. It's creating a toxic work environment. I'm hearing that anyone who tries to offer constructive criticism gets shut down immediately. Meetings are basically echo chambers where everyone just nods along and agrees that it's all the palace's fault. Which means nobody's actually addressing the real issues, like, the fact that the products are subpar and the customer service is non-existent. It's a vicious cycle. They launch something, it flops, they blame someone else, and then they repeat the same mistakes again. And the brand just keeps spiraling. I mean, from a business perspective, it's suicide. Nobody wants to buy into a brand that's associated with chaos and drama. People want reliability, trust, and a sense that they're getting their money's worth. And right now, American Riviera Orchard is offering none of that. It's like she thinks she can just coast on her celebrity and her royal connections. But that only gets you so far. Eventually, you actually have to deliver a good product. And right now, she's failing miserably. And instead of taking responsibility, she's just blaming everyone else. And the irony is, she could have actually built something amazing. She had the platform, the resources, the connections. She could have partnered with established brands, learned from experienced entrepreneurs, and created a truly successful luxury lifestyle brand. But instead, she's chosen to go it alone, surrounded by yes men and fueled by paranoia. And you know what? The customers aren't stupid. They can see right through the facade. They're not going to shell out $64 for a candle just because it has a pretty label. They want quality, they want consistency, and they want a brand that they can trust. And right now, American Riviera Orchard is failing on all those fronts. So what's next? Honestly, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to rebrand again, or maybe even just shuts the whole thing down and moves on to something else. But whatever she does, she needs to ditch the victim narrative and start taking responsibility for her own mistakes. And maybe, just maybe, she should consider hiring some people who actually know what they're doing, because right now, it's clear that she's in over her head. And if she doesn't make some serious changes soon, American Riviera Orchard is going to go down in history as one of the biggest celebrity brand failures of all time. And honestly, it's a shame because she had so much potential. But instead of living up to it, she's chosen to wallow in self-pity and blame everyone else for her problems. And that's not a recipe for success. That's a recipe for disaster. And, I almost feel bad for her. Almost. But then I remember those wickless candles and the jam that looks like it's been sitting in a jar for 5 years and the customer service reps who never answer the phone. And then I think, you know what? Maybe she deserves it. Maybe she needs to learn a hard lesson about what it takes to build a successful business. And maybe, just maybe, this whole American Riviera Orchard debacle will finally force her to take a long, hard look in the mirror and realize that she's not always the victim. Sometimes she's the problem. And until she's willing to admit that, she's doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. And that's not just bad for her brand, it's bad for her reputation. So yeah, that's the latest on the American Riviera Orchard saga. It's a train wreck, but it's a fascinating train wreck. And I, for one, am going to keep watching to see what happens next. Because you never know with Meghan Markle. She's always